we present storytelling with the storyteller. Today we are being presented here in Crystal Gutierrez Studios. It has been sponsored by her, and we have a special guest, Sister Marisa Ward. Marisa Ward is, of course, the opponent that is running in District 2. She is running for a city councilman seat as well. And today she is our privileged intellectual guest. Welcome, Sister Marisa Ward. Thank you for being on this platform. Today we're going to talk. Of course, we know we have an election coming up here in our city, here in the city of Longview. You and Sister Nona Snotty are running, of course, for District 2. Tell us, the viewers, a little bit about who you are. We're familiar with Sister Nona Snotty. Tell us a little bit about who you are.
Okay, well, again, I'm Marisa Ward. I moved to Longview in November 2013. Okay. That same year, I married my husband, Reverend Linshay Ward. I have a 24-year-old daughter. My first granddaughter, she's 3 months. I have a 16-year-old son. My career has been in the hotel industry, sales department, and then I switched over to the electrical power industry. All my life, I've done volunteer work. So pretty much, I've lived in District 2 for a little bit over 7 years. And there's where I met wonderful individuals, some whom I met through church or just helped out. And so I've come to really love the individuals in District 2. Yeah.
Okay. And so since you've been here within the last decade, I noticed that you probably see there needs to be some change.
Yes, ma'am.
Otherwise you wouldn't have a motive for running for the city council. Can you tell me, what do you see here that needs to be changed here within our community why do we, or the public as the voters, need to consider a change here in Longview?
Wow, because there's definitely change that needs to be done. When you look at our economic development, of course, coinciding with our comprehensive plan, District 2 has been ignored. They've been neglected. When I speak with the individuals of District 2, that's exactly how they feel. Mm-hmm. There are actually individuals, male and female, who I've knocked on their doors just to speak with them briefly about the needs of District 2, and they have cried and had me in tears. Mm-hmm. And some of that consists of just our transportation. There are certain streets you can go down in District 2 and you literally tear up your car, or try to avoid tearing up your car. You have infrastructure that either needs to be torn down, or they need to be turned into a vibrant business. There's land that is not being utilized, that's been sitting vacant for years. You also have individuals who have contacted the city for numerous reasons, and they encounter rudeness. They encounter not being able to get to the necessary person that they're wanting to get in contact with, or they're not hearing back. And these are from people, some don't even know each other. When you look at District 2, and this is really near and dear to my heart, it's that there's lack of leadership in District 2. When you look at in 2015, okay, our current city councilwoman, she was asked to occupy that position. Now, it's nothing wrong with that part if she felt that she could handle that position, but it devastates me that people didn't come up to say, I want to represent District 2 for its leadership. And then you have 2018, nobody stepped up. And then you have now, many are upset that I'm even running against her, instead of just respecting that someone wants to, bring their ideas to the forefront of making a change. So when I look at our children, I refuse to live in District 2 and not bring about leaders. So the lack of leadership it's there. And then you have the elderly. When I called the city of Longview, talked to them about services that the elderly needs, not only are they not doing much other than United Way that's helping them pay their utilities, and then that takes forever, and that's a whole different story. Not much is being done there. When I asked them about what are you doing virtually, they're not even having virtual meetings to move forward. And if they are, I don't know anything about it because I was told this by the director. So when you have an individual like myself that's going out doing food drives for the elderly, when I'm knocking on their door, getting grocery list of like over 20 some elderly, and then, you know, making sure they have what they need. I shouldn't be doing this alone or just with my community when you have a city government who's getting paid, when they have grants coming in, and you're not doing more for the residents who pay taxes, of who paved the way for us. That's unacceptable to me. Okay. And there's so many other changes that need to be made in District 2, and just too many to list. Okay. You know, there's life-changing services that our people are not even aware of. We have the File of Life that my organization is going to be presenting to the neighborhood. You have the ambulance subscription program that they're not aware of.
So if I'm gathering right, Sister Ward, I think what you're saying is, or not think what you're saying, are you saying that it's stated clearly that in District 2, there has been areas that have been clearly abandoned?
Yes.
That have been clearly been hollered and saying, hey, I've been abandoned, and no one has been there to cover it, not even the current members of the seat.
Well, you know what? I am saying that because when I can only speak from my experience. Okay. When city council, running for city council wasn't even a part of my plan at one time. My plan was just to knock on doors, see if there's any needs that need to be met, and taking action accordingly. And when you knock on somebody's door and they ask you why you're the first person they're seeing that actually cares, when you knock on, and I'm not over exaggerating, knock on 20 doors in one day, and this part has to do with me running for city council. Let me just make that very clear. And they don't even know who our current council person is. That's unacceptable to me.
It sounds like you're very compassionate, sister.
I am, and I'm trying to hold back my tears now because we have some wonderful people living in District 2. We have individuals living that has been there for 20 or 30 some years. I was in high school, didn't even know much about Longview. You have individuals that, one lady has 2 children that's on oxygen, and there's a electrical pole leaning near her house. She contacted the city and they told her point blank there was nothing they could do. There's another lady whose husband died, and no lighting in front of her home. And then she has individuals who's doing any and everything because there's no lighting. You have another person who has called the city of Longview trying to get help because the police officer that took down her information when her husband passed out on the floor and eventually died got all of her information wrong after being rude to her, and he was over talking her. You have so many people that their stories need to be told. And when I'm knocking on doors and I get held up at one house for 15 to 30 minutes because they're crying and I can't leave them, that's unacceptable. That's unacceptable for us to live in a district and not know what's going on in our own district. And I am upset, I'm mad, and rather, whatever God's plan is, it is what it is. Whether I get that seat or not. But there's some work that needs to be done in District 2. I have been working on some things to get so we can have some type of accomplishments. And I'm going to continue to do what I know to do that's right. Which is why I'm not working anymore. I left the workforce in 2018, and I dedicated my entire life to serving my community.
So is that what was your drive? You seeing the compassion for District 2 that encouraged you to run for the seat?
Yeah, yes, and I'm very, very compassionate, and this is me since I was a kid, and I used to get in big trouble for this. Whenever I saw that there was a problem, immediately there has to be a solution for it. May not know what it is right now, but there's a solution. And with that being said, in District 2, where are our solutions? Where? If you have the power to get a group of people together, if you have the resources to do what needs to be done, if you physically can get out there and work, if you have the mental mindset, the capacity to do it, why not do it? Do you have to leave the workforce like I did? No, that may not be your journey. But it was mine. And running for this seat, I will have access to get to individuals and resources that I can't get to right now.
Okay. Let me ask you a really hard question.
Okay.
If you obtain this seat, mm-hmm. and you get to the seat, you say, I will have resources to change the things that you are clearly passionate about.
Yes, ma'am.
What makes you different from not just the current opponent, but any opponent that has served in this seat with not just present needs of District 2, but has been past needs of District 2? What do you think you're going to add to the equation that will make the ball actually get moving this time? Okay. What will you do to make the locomotion actually take forward? Okay.
First of all, that's not a hard question. It's not hard at all. Not for me, it's not. Okay. I'm going to tell you why. I'm a fighter. Okay. I am not arrogant, but I am confident to stand alone. I'm courageous to ask the tough questions and to have the uncomfortable conversations. But I'm compassionate enough to listen to the needs of others and take action accordingly. Okay. Okay? Am I saying I'm better than the current council person? Absolutely not. Right. But I will fight. My voice will be heard. And I would not be a yes person. You would not intimidate me and get me to agree with something that's going to benefit the north side of town and not benefit where I live and where my people live. And that's what I call them, my people.
Do you feel that's the current state of,
yes, I do.
The council at this moment?
I do.
Okay.
I do. Okay. And again, I'm not a very emotional person. My husband can tell you. I'm not that. I care, but I'm not going to cry that easily. Yeah. But talking about this, if you met the people I met, if you saw their circumstances, if you saw how long they felt neglected, you would be just as mad as I am. Okay. You would be just as furious as I am. And all I'm saying is that if I was elected, like I said, I'm not promising to get one thing done, to get this thing done, because everybody knows there's 6 city council sitting on that member board, and you have to work. They all have to work together. Absolutely. And so you can't just go in and say, well, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. No, but what you can say and what you can do is actually fight. What you can do is make sure that while you're fighting, make sure that the people of District 2 knows that you're fighting, what progress has been made, and what you're still working on. There should be town hall meetings. There's no reason I should live in District 2 and pay my taxes and not know what's going on in my own city. Now, yes, the people in District 2, they have to be held accountable too. They have to start going to the city council meetings. They have to start researching what different terminology means. Know the roles and the responsibilities of all your city employees. They have to know that. You have to be in the know. Okay? And they have to lead by an example. Go and take your children. Take your neighbor's children if they're at work. So it falls on both. The city council member, the mayor, it falls on all of them, but it also falls on the residents of District 2. So, and that's what civic engagement and education comes in. Okay? The children that's a part of my organization, Be Busy, Being the Change, those children, they learn what local government is. Okay? They learn the roles and the responsibilities. They learn what real leadership looks like and how they can become leaders. They learn how to speak publicly. Because, and that's important to me because growing up I had a speech impediment. And I would have never talked about it. But because I know who my creator is, because I know that he knew me before I was even born, and he called me to be a leader. He set me apart. He called me out to be confident and courageous because he created me. And I learned that because you do have a speech impediment, that doesn't stop what I called you to do. That doesn't stop my purpose for you. And because I know my purpose, I will not be selfish with the gifts and the talents, the drive, the compassion that God gave me. And I want those children to feel the same way. I wanted to be an attorney. I wanted to be a judge. I didn't do it because I had to speak in front of people. Now, show you how good God is. What am I doing now? Speaking in front of people. Encouraging people.
Do you feel that if you get elected or even in your run for District 2, do you think this is part of God's calling? And if so, why?
Okay. I think it is. Now, whether I get that or not, that's in God's will. But I know for a fact, without a doubt, that he has called me to step forward in being courageous. Even if it's to show others that you have to invest in you. Because if you don't invest in you, if you have this dream, this vision, you have to believe in that. You have to give others something to believe in. Okay? I know he's called me to come forth. With every fiber in my being, he has called me to come forth. He has called me to be that leader to show our youth what they can be. He has called me to be that leader for individuals who are my age. I'm 44 years old. Whether they're older or younger, he has called me to show them that it's never too late. Never too late. With all capital letters, to follow your dreams and to be who I called you to be.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. I know you are married to the Honorable Reverend Lynn Ward.
Yes.
Being a First Lady, not just only in the community, but of the community, what role does that play in what you will be able to provide to the members of District 2?
Okay. Well, first of all, I'm not a first lady. He's one of the associate pastors at Zion Hill in Tatum.
Girl, forgive my faux pas.
No,
Same
okay.
thing.
No, you're okay. No.
Forgive the faux pas.
No, you're
Same
okay.
thing.
You're okay. Well, and I understand, and I understand where you're going with that. Whether you're in the church, like we are, or if you're out in the community like we are, it just serves a greater purpose where you can connect with individuals who may not even be in your district, and it's everything we do is teachable. It's just a learning, it's just a footstep. So being to answer your question, that's where you just really get to incorporate more, of your Christianity. Some people, they don't like to involve Christ into politics, but he established government. Christ established government. He established leadership. And so just being in that role, it's really helped me to be courageous, if that's what you're asking.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. That's exactly what I'm asking, because I'm going to speak for just a second from the perspective of a person that doesn't have a strong relationship with God.
Okay.
That is not interested in church nor politics. That is only interested in what's going on in my community. Is my neighbor fed? hungry or depleted? Are my streets safe for my children to play on? Can my grandchildren have a party on Sunday afternoon without gunshots? I'm going to speak from a perspective of a person that does not have a dog in the fight. But I happen to live in the district of which you are running for. I've been on the opponent. I've been in the town 50 years. The person that leads it, I trust her. I love her. Been knowing her. Been serving me. You're someone new. Don't really know you. Don't have a stake in God. Don't have a stake in any of it. What would you say to me, the voter who keeps up with politics and politicians, but keeps up with loving people more? What would you say to me to help me to consider you for my vote?
Okay. Wow. Okay. So what I would say to you is to evaluate your current council person, her accomplishments, or his. Well, we're saying in our district, evaluate the accomplishments. You have to evaluate how long the person has been in that seat and the accomplishments, and then you have to evaluate it with, like you said, the new person coming in, what they've already done. And so when you, for an example, me, when you're looking at me, you're looking at someone who has worked with the police department with the domestic violence and who's currently working with them now on making sure that our community is aware that if you're assaulted, there's other resources that can help you with your medical needs. You're also looking at a person who is currently working with the fire department, making sure that our elderly has a safe, making sure they're safe in their own home. Okay, increasing that quality of life. You're also looking at someone who has devoted time and energy, who has helped women get out of domestic violence situations into a life of freedom and choice. You're also looking at a person who dedicates her time to our youth, making sure they know about their local government and making sure they're engaged. You're also looking at someone who, along with her husband, has self-funded and then received the help from other organizations and individuals, food drives for the elderly and single parents. You're also looking at someone who has kept 16 children in their home at one time, assisting with child care because the mothers are trying to go to school and work at the same time. So I said that to say, when you looking at me, you're looking at someone who has dedicated so many years, so many times, so much time, so much energy and money into making sure that the quality of life is enhanced in District 2. So if I'm going to do all of that I've been done, and plus much more, what more will I do in a political realm? Okay. So am I saying that the current council person is not a good mother? Absolutely not. Not a good sister? I'm not saying that. And has she not been good to others in her community, in the church? I'm not saying that. Who am I to say what she has or hasn't done or who she is to people? But what I will tell you this, serving as a city employee, you have a whole different obligation that needs to be filled. And it's not just sitting behind that chamber seat. It's not just voting on policies. It's making sure that your community as a whole is taken care of. I have not seen that. And whenever I ask individuals, and I make it known, I never browbeat her. She's a woman. She's a black woman. She's my sister in Christ. Absolutely. And I do love her.
Absolutely.
But I don't love your representation.
Okay. I noticed that one of your main slogan is "Be the Change," correct?
Yes, ma'am.
In the "Be the Change," one of the major stamps I know in the black community over the last decade or so was when Barack Obama had the change movement going on.
Yes.
That was a very powerful movement, and it gave people hope in an area that we had never seen before.
Yes.
So when I heard "Be the Change" again, here we are, maybe 12, 14 years later. Yeah. And you're saying "Be the Change" now, in a different climate from when Obama was elected. Things are a little bit more tense, but a little bit more free.
Yes, ma'am.
A little bit more high, but a little bit more low. A little bit more clean, but way more dirty.
Yeah.
When you say be the change, me as someone who doesn't live in District 2, but lives in the great city of Longview, and have family members and people that I love in District 2, what change are you going to be for them?
The change that I'm going to be for them is going in again, fighting for what has not and is not being done. When I speak of being the change, there's no way you can be the change by talking about it, talking about what needs to be changed, by gossiping about it, by being mad about it. You have to actually, my organization is actually called Being the Change. I changed it. ING means you're actually active right now. You're active. So to be the change, I need to get in there and challenge that comprehensive plan. When you talk about that comprehensive plan, you're talking about a whole bunch of things that needs to be done, needs to be changed. Infrastructure, transportation, utilities, so many things need to be done. So when I talk about being the change, I'm not just talking about doing volunteer work. I'm not just talking about feeding my people. I'm talking about making sure, like our comprehensive advisory board states, making sure it's livable and vibrant community. I want to make sure that those are words that you all used. Those are words that you all use. And I'm going to make sure that if I'm elected to city council person District 2, that you live up to those words.
Well, all right, Sister Wall. It has been a great conversation. I'm going to close with one final, not just, I don't know if it's just a question, maybe a thought.
Okay.
Something we and the viewers could ponder on.
Okay.
We have heard the term forever. There always needs to be a separation of church and state.
Yes.
I've always found that personally kind of unorthodox because for me, my church has to be my state and my state has to be my church. For me, church is a state of my heart being, and state is a state of my mind. So, you, as a woman of Christ, as a first lady, let me get it right, because she already corrected me. What's the proper term I need to be using, Queen?
I actually never even thought about a term.
Lady.
I know, just call me first lady. I'm claiming it.
I'm going to go for first lady.
No.
With the first lady in tow of that same aspect, you can't help but to be one and the same. How do you separate the church from the state? How do you do that? Being that you're running for politics, being that you are a first lady and a woman of God, and the world says separation of church and state, how are you going to be able to manage to do that and still serve the people and the God we serve effectively?
You know what? That's kind of a hard question, but then it's not. And I see it, and that's, I love the questions, first of all. I'm just going to be honest with you. I love my Creator. Yeah. I am fully persuaded that He's going to do what He says He will do. But I would not forsake my Creator to get this seat. If individuals, for an example, don't want to vote for me because I talk about my God too much, then don't vote for me.
Amen.
Now, once I get in there in that seat, yes, I know there's going to come times where I have to make choices, hard choices, I understand. But if you look at it, I'm not going in that seat to sell ice cream to make everybody happy. Because that's what I could do. Really, if I want to make everybody happy, I just sell ice cream and candy.
Right.
Okay?
Popcorn.
Popcorn, hot dogs, whatever you want to. Yeah, that makes everybody happy.
Right.
Okay. When you're in a seat like that, you're going to make some people mad, going to make some people happy. The same people you make happy, you may make them mad next time. Same people you make mad, vice versa. I'm going to pray over everything, put in my petition to God, and I am going to act accordingly based on what His answer to me. And if it means me not getting reelected because I chose what God would have me to do, then so be it. I want that seat to create change in the political realm, but I would not, and I repeat, I would not, with all capital letters, jeopardize which way I go when I close my eyes. I will always be fair with individuals. I will be upfront with them, but I will never jeopardize the one who created me and led me to that position. And I really feel like in my heart, even though opposition, obstacles are gonna arise, he's gonna show me which way to go.
Amen.
So it won't. When I get there, I get there, and then we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
It sure was a pleasure talking to you, Sister Marisa Ward.
Thank you.
This
you
has
too
been
as
a
well.
conversation amongst intellectuals, storytelling with the storyteller, presented by Active, sponsored by Krista Gutierrez. Of course, you can see her beautiful artwork here on the wall. Look her up. She is a talented artist. Tell the viewers and the voters what they should be doing coming up soon in regards to Mr. Marisa Ward.
Okay.
April.
So April 19th through the 24th is early voting, and that can be done at City Hall. May the 1st is Election Day, and it will be held at Stamper Park Resource Center. Trust me with your vote. And I promise you, you won't be led astray. So, and also April 10th, I will be having a Meet the Candidate at Stamper Park Resource Center. There, I will inform you of why I chose to run and why you should trust me with your vote and what to look forward to. You will also have a time where you can ask me questions. No question is too hard for me. Either I can answer you, and if I don't know the answer, I promise you, I'll research it and get it to you. Also that day, you'll have a chance to voice your complaints. So it is truly time for us to be the change that we want to see in District 2. So the only way you can evaluate that to see if I'm the perfect fit is coming out April 10th. Thank you so very much.
April 10th, you can catch Sister Marisa Ward. Make sure you do the elections. You are ballot number...
I'm ballot number 2, and also April the 10th, it'll be from 1 to 3.
From 1 to 3.
Again, at Stamper Park Resource Center. But I am number 2 on the ballot.
Okay, number 2 on the ballot.
Yes.
Thank you, Sister Ward, for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
We appreciate your time. Thank you, Reverend Warren. Thank you for everybody else. Everybody that's watching. Again, whether we have election, re-election, selection, or whatever, just remember that we choose the people to stand for us, and we want these people to be proud, we want them to be boastful, and we want them to be bold as lions. Sometimes the vote splits, sometimes the choice splits.
Right.
But the only thing that matters is that we all become together, one, for the unity for us all, not just here in Longview, but Texas and all over America.
That's right.
Remember us here, we love you. Keep your heads and your hearts up. We in for hard times, but we in for better times too. Welcome to the takeover. Hoorah. Next time.